Good afternoon. My name is Sergeant Newton, and today I'll be covering task 071 Charlie Oscar Mike 081. Challenge a person entering your area. We're going to go over the risk assessment real quick here. If you have any coffee cups, make sure that you keep your hot liquids away from any electronic devices. Keep the caps on them, make sure you don't spill them. If there's any fans in the area, make sure you keep your hands away from that. Any wires, backpacks, stuff from laptop computers, make sure that you keep your feet away from that. Just make sure you're being aware of your surroundings, so that way you're not tripping over stuff. What we're going to need for today is, since we're in a classroom environment, we're only going to need ID cards and a water source and a pen and paper. So at this time, I would go around, make sure everybody has all of their stuff required for the class here. Now for challenge persons entering your area, the conditions: you're a member of a squad or team providing security for your unit in a field environment. You have your assigned weapon, individual protective equipment, and the current challenger password. An unknown person or persons is approaching your area. Some iterations of this task should be performed in MOP 4. Standards: detect and challenge all approaching personnel, prevent compromise of password, allow personnel positively identified as friendly to pass, and disarm, detain, and report personnel not positively identified. We're in a classroom environment, so we're not going to be operating any type of MOP 4 or have any weapons with us. At this time, we're going to cover the performance steps. 1. Detect all personnel entering your area. 2. Challenge an individual that enters your area. You're going to cover the individual with your weapon without disclosing your position. Command the individual to halt before they are close enough to pose a threat. Note: commands and questions must be loud enough to be heard by the individual, but not loud enough that others outside the immediate area can hear. Commands should be repeated as necessary. Ask, "Who is there?" just loud enough for the individual to hear. Note: the individual should reply with an answer that best describes them. Example: Sergeant Jones. Order the individual to advance to be recognized. Continue to keep the individual covered without exposing yourself. Order the individual to halt when they are within 2 to 3 meters from your position. Note: the individual should be halted at a location that provides protection to you and prevents them from escaping if they are deemed unfriendly. Then you're going to issue the challenge in a low voice. The challenge should only be heard by the individual challenged to prevent all others from overhearing. You may also ask the individual questions that only a friendly person should be able to answer correctly. Determine if the individual is friendly based upon their return the correct password and your own situational awareness. Allow the individual to pass if the individual returns the correct password and you are convinced the individual is friendly. Detain an individual if they return an incorrect password or cannot be positively identified as friendly. Direct the individual to disarm, notify your chain of command, and await instruction from your command. 3. Challenge a group that enters your area. Note: this procedure and precaution are similar to these for challenging from a single person. Cover the group with your weapon without disclosing your position. Order the group to halt before they are close enough to pose a threat to you. Command, "Who is there?" just loud enough to be heard by the group. Wait for a reply from the group. Note: reply should clearly identify group. Reply should clearly identify group. Example: friendly patrol. Order the leader of the group to advance to be recognized, and continue to keep group leader covered without exposing yourself. Order the group leader to halt when the individual is within 2 to 3 meters from your position. Note: the group leader should be halted at a location that provides protection to you and prevents the leader from escaping if they are deemed unfriendly. Issue the challenge to only the group leader. Note: you may also ask questions that only a friendly person should be able to answer correctly. Determine if the group leader is friendly based upon their return of the correct password and your own situational awareness. 1. Direct the group leader to remain with you to assist in identifying group members if you determine he or she is friendly. Direct the group leader to vouch for or positively identify each member of his group as they pass to your flank. Then detain any individual in the group not recognized by the group leader by disarming them and having them wait until your chain of command provides additional instructions. Detain the group leader if they are not positively identified as friendly. Direct the individual to disarm. Direct him or her to inform the group to wait. Notify your chain of command and await instruction from your chain of command. This time we're going to cover the practice scenario that we're going to be doing. As I went over before in the performance steps, you're going to detect all personnel entering your area. You're going to challenge the individual that enters your area. Make sure you give hand signals as well. Command the individual to halt. Put your hand out. Ask who is there, just loud enough for the individual to hear. Order the individual to advance to be recognized. Okay, you're going to issue the challenge in a low voice and determine if the individual is friendly based upon their return the correct password and your own situational awareness. If the individual gives back the correct password, allow the individual to pass. And if anybody is deemed unfriendly, detain them. Direct the individual to disarm, notify your chain of command, and await instruction. So at this time, I'll give you about 5 minutes. This time practice is over. We're doing challenge persons entering your area. And the conditions where you are a member of a squad or a team providing security for your unit in a field environment. You have your assigned weapon, individual protective equipment, the current challenge password. An unknown person or persons is approaching your area. Some iterations of this task should be performed in Mod 4. Okay. Standards: detect and challenge all approaching personnel. Prevent compromise of password. Allow personnel positively identified as friendly to pass. Disarm, detain, and report personnel not positively identified. So we're going to have a evaluation right now, and we're going to cover the performance measures. Performance measures for this evaluation is going to be detected all personnel entering your area, challenged all individuals that entered your area, and challenged all groups that entered your area. This time you're going to do the evaluation. Okay, at this time, nobody met the standards for the evaluation. The evaluation is done at this time. If you failed your evaluation, we're going to have a practice rerun of the evaluation tomorrow at 1700 at this current location. Make sure that you have your ID, pen, paper, your water source, just like we were supposed to have today. We're not going to have anything else because we are in a classroom environment. At this time, you can conduct a police call. Make sure that you pick up any of your garbage that you brought in. Remember, we're trying to be environmentally friendly here. So if you brought anything in, bottles, anything like that, make sure you recycle. Pick up all your garbage. We're going to do a AAR here. So for the AAR, everyone has the right to speak, and I want to encourage maximum participation. Please don't talk over each other, and as always, be respectful of differing viewpoints. Now let's cover what was supposed to happen. We're supposed to detect personnel entering the area, challenge individuals that entered the area, and challenge all groups that entered the area. What did happen? We did exactly that: detected personnel entering the area, challenge individuals that entered the area, and we covered challenging all groups that entered the area. Now we can cover what went right and what went wrong. We can cover how do I improve training for next time. Were there any injuries or damaged equipment? No. And were all control measures implemented effectively? Yes. Just going to make sure my paperwork is set here. Again, if you haven't already, please conduct a police call. Make sure all your trash that you brought in, you bring out with you. Everybody still has their ID card, their pen, paper, and a water source. I would annotate that in my PCCs. And at this time, I'd like to request to close out the training site, and that ends this evaluation.